today we're going to talk, these are actually the last sections of the chapter. Okay, so we're going to talk about medians, centroids, and then comparing sides with angles and angles with sides. Okay, so here, medians, what they mean by drawing a median from one angle across, might help if I put the pen on. From one angle, I'm going to go from angle S across to the other side. Okay, what happens with that median is it splits that side in half. Okay, so it starts as 6. 6 divided by 2, both of those get you 3. Okay, so if I go from R to our side with 4, what are those sides? 2, right? They split it in half. What about from T to its opposite side? What are those sides? 2.5. And what we're also going to talk about is that this middle point that they all created by their intersection, that is called the centroid. And we will talk about that when we get to it. Okay, but that is called the centroid. Okay, any questions with the median? Okay, biggest thing is when you start at the angle, you are always going to the opposite side from that angle. And it splits that side in half. Okay, so knowing that relationship is probably the biggest thing. From the angle to the opposite side. Okay, so here, draw the median. So let's do number 1. I'm going to go from this angle. If I'm at that top angle, which side do I need to go to? I'm at this top angle here. What side do I need to go to?
6.
6, right? And if I split that in half to a median, what are those sides? 3. Okay, if I'm over here at this side now, what side do I need to go to? 5. Go across. What are the medians? Both of them are 2.5. Okay. What about the other side? 1.5. Very good. Okay, you guys, quick, do 2 and 3. From that right angle, what side do I need to go to?
5.
The 5. What happens to that side? Split into 2.5. From the angle on the bottom, where do I need to go? Across to the 4. So what do my sides turn into? 2. And then my last one, what do my sides turn into? 1.5. Good, bless you. Okay, what do you notice about number 3? They're all the same. So no matter what side you split, what do your medians turn into? 2.5. Any questions with medians? No? All right, moving on. Yeah, what's up?
When are we getting you vocab?
After today, I'm going to put some new stuff up there.
Should we write that?
Okay.
On
No, don't worry about it. Okay, so now on the centroid, okay? There's going to be a little math involved here, okay? But it will be okay, okay? So what they're giving us is that this whole median, that whole length there, it says it's 24. Okay, that whole length is 24. It wants us to find the 2 parts of that. So it wants us to find BE and ED. Now looking at that, do those 2 lengths, so I'm talking about this length here with this length, do those 2 look the same?
Yeah.
Do they look like the same length? No. Which one looks bigger? BE looks bigger. What fraction is BE of BD? Take a guess.
Is it called like a Spanish share?
2/3.
Yes, what'd you say?
2/3.
2/3. You're exactly right. This BE here is 2/3 of the whole thing. So it's saying the longest side, I'm just going to label it as L. The longest side is 2/3 of the whole. So 2/3 times the whole. Okay, that equation is very important. Write it down. Longest side equals 2/3 times the whole. Okay, so now let's just plug in what we know. What do we know? What's 24 give us? The whole, right? So we have length equals 2/3 times 24. Now, backing it up way to 8th grade. Okay, I just taught my 8th graders this. If I treat this as over 1, we're trying to solve for this now, I can reduce. What can I reduce here?
3.
The 3 and the 24. So 3 goes into 3 one time. How many times does 24 or 3 go into 24? 8. So now, what do I have left on the top? 2 times 8, right? What's 2 times 8? 16. So our longest side is 16. So now that we know the whole thing and a part, how do we find the other part? We know the whole and we know the part. We want to find this other part. You're exactly right. We want to subtract 24 minus 16. What does that give you? 8. Okay. Now let's look at number 5. It gives us JK, this length here, and it says it's 4. Does that give us the shortest length, the longest length, or the whole thing? What do we think? It gives us the shorter one, right? So, what do we think? If the longest side was 2/3, what's the shortest side? It's okay. So we said the longest side, or the longest length, was 2/3. So what's the other part of 2/3?
1/3.
1/3. So our shortest side is 1/3 of the whole. Does that make sense? How I set that up? Okay. So now let's plug in what they gave us. What did they give us? Which is the shortest side or the longest side? Shortest side. So plug 4 in for the shortest side. Oh my gosh. I think it broke, but that's okay. Okay, so we want to solve for W. How do we solve for W? How do we get W by itself? How do we take away the 1/3?
Divide by 3.
Yeah, we're going to multiply by 3 on both sides. Because if we multiply by 3 over here, those 3's cancel each other out. So what do we get for our whole? What's 4 times 3?
12.
12. So our whole thing is 12. So now we have the whole thing and we have a part. How do we find the missing part? 12 minus 4, which gives us 8.
This
Yeah?
is very confusing.
I know. That's okay. Okay, let's look at one more. QN is 20. What does that give us? The whole thing, the shortest side, or the longest side? The longest. Okay. So what equation out of the two that we've created, so we have this one and this one, which equation should we use? The longest, because it gives us that, right? So we're going to plug in 20 equals 2/3 times W. Okay. Now we got a little bit more solving going on here. What's our first step?
Times by 2, 3. Or divide 2 by 3.
Let's get rid of the fraction first. So let's multiply by 3 on both sides. I'll show you why. Multiply by 3 on both sides. Those 3's go away. What's 20 times 3?
60.
Okay. 60. And then we have 2 times W left. So now how do I get rid of that 2? Divide by 2. So I have W equals 30. Okay. Yes, because what did that just give us? The whole. So now we want to subtract to find the missing part, right? So this one is 10.
Amazing.
Okay, I know a lot going on. Okay. Any questions over centroids and medians? Okay, remember those two equations that I starred. Okay.